All right, welcome everybody to the Card Guyz channel. We have a Iyslander mirror match for our first match of week 3. We're really looking forward to this one. I mean, my favorite pastime for sure has to be passing priority 14,000 times, and that's exactly what we're gonna get into here. So really looking forward to this. I got Josh here with me.
The best.
And
Spacebar is gonna get abused.
That's it. That's it. And it's on Talishar to make things
Yep.
worse. So like we're really gonna emphasize this passing priority here.
Yep. Healer, also known as Peter Ward of the Clout Chasers, is up against Alex. This is a Wizard mirror match, and looks like Deckless Dealer is going second, right? So Alex got to play the Frost Hex on him, Arsenal card. Wounded Bull coming in here. I guess let's talk a little bit about this matchup here. This is a matchup where we're probably going to see a lot of chonky attacks being traded till they're probably around 10 life or so, and then we're going to see some very, very tall stacks of layers, with them fighting with the Storm Striders probably at the very end of the game.
Yeah, I've never actually played this match before. However, I have like watched a lot of it and kind of like studied it, and from what I can gather is it seems like you're basically on the same plan as Oldham, right? It's kind of the same matchup. The only difference is you're managing the Constalis counters, which is the chess piece that both Icelanders are wearing, which for those of you who don't know, anytime you use AB once per turn, you block AB, it puts a counter on there. You can hold up to 4 counters, and it discounts your wand instance by 2. And
does Waning Moon say target hero? Could you target yourself to put a counter on your Constellus
absolutely you
T1?
can, and absolutely you can, and it's very oftenly done so.
Okay.
For good reason, right? You just start with
filter.
And but yeah, it seems like it's kind of the same game plan as Iyslander or as Oldham. So you're trying to set up your Frost Hexes, set up your Insidious Chills or your Ice Amulets, and basically use your red attacks as a way to tell the other person, look, if you want to set something up, you're going to pay with a little bit of life. And they do it back, and so it's how can you play your auras and items in the event of Amulet of Ice while also inconveniencing the other one from playing theirs. And currently what we see here, we have Alex having 1 Frost Hex, an Amulet of Ice, and an Insidious Chill in Arsenal. From what I can tell, he is far ahead in this game.
Yep. Even though he took a little bit of life. So one of the interesting things is that this is the first time we're casting the game from the perspective of a player, as opposed to like the not God, but the oblivious observer that doesn't get to see any hands. This actually made, I guess we can talk a little bit more about like if there's any hands that we would play a little bit differently here.
Yeah, I actually really like this style of commentating because I can sit there and pick apart Alex's terrible decisions. Not that he's made any yet, but just anytime we kind of get to stick him in the side a little bit, it's always good.
So I like to say that if your opponent can notice a mistake, or if an observer can notice a mistake, it's probably a very egregious mistake.
Right.
But if we can see a mistake, even though we have full information, that may not actually be a big mistake. It is if your opponent misplays really badly, maybe tactically or strategically, the opponent will know about it, right? Whereas like if you make like small misplays, your opponent might not actually be able to see it, but a person that could see the whole hands could actually discern what's going on.
And I really like that play from Alex. I think it's exactly what I would have done. Just getting that Insidious Chill out, being able to fuse that Ice Vein.
Yep.
And then the reason he picked the,
Mhm.
I guess this is like very rare min maxing, but he did pitch a cold snap and kept a polar blast. He should have swapped those because chances are the cold snap will not actually impact. But in the event that he did arsenal like a wounded bull or something, it could, and no matter what, even if
Mhm.
it doesn't impact the game, it's better than it's at worst the exact same as a polar blast.
Exactly. Yep.
So I think that's just a small min max thing, but I don't think it'll impact the game in any way.
Mhm. Yeah, I think just getting 3 triggers off the Insidious Chill will put Alex pretty far ahead here.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna leverage the first 2 counters
Mhm.
on it and then sit on the third and wait for the Frost Hex combo.
Mhm.
I think once you get that last one there, because they are not optional triggers for those of you who don't know, anytime you fuse a card, it is a mandatory trigger. So I think he's gonna use it one more time to keep the tempo, get some stuff out at no life cost, and then kind of save that last one to pair with the Amulet of Ice to get that Frost Hex combo going.
So I believe that Iyslander does run Oasis Respite. So
She
is
actually
this
typically
a
does not.
like okay, so the more modern builds does not run that, huh? They don't have
Mhm.
slots for that, I guess.
Exactly. In fact, I think most of them, the only D reactor running is Sink Below.
Right.
At least that's the world's
Mhm.
Michael list. Is I think he only has Sink Below is the only like defensive card, if you will.
Yep.
I can double check that real quick though, just to be sure.
Yeah. I wonder if Deckless Stealer is actually playing Michael Hamilton's list. So far, we haven't seen anything to indicate otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, so far it really, I mean, I think the deck's been solved. I hate to
Yeah.
say that when the cards haven't been out for too incredibly long, but
Mhm.
he just
There-
I mean, we all know the story. He quit his job, right, and
Mhm.
put a lot of time into Fab, and I think he got that deck as good as it's going to get.
Yep. It's one of those things like you have to think you are a genius to improve upon a deck that has been played so many times, refined so many times, right?
Right.
You generally don't want to mess with perfection.
Yep. Absolutely.
I do like though that this deck, even though I think this deck is pretty annoying to play against, especially if you don't come in with a game plan.
Hmm.
Um, but I do like how this game has, or this deck has kind of pushed our understanding of Fab a little bit forward, a little bit deeper. Um, just the whole like generics from WTR are actually good. Who
Well,
would have known?
I think when he came out with this deck at US Nats,
Nets. Yep.
I think it nobody. I mean, some people looked at the game as basically a problem of math value, but I think it really hit home when people like Michael added cards that were originally just laughed at, right?
Yep.
And put him into his deck and actually won based solely off the aspect of value and nothing more, and being able to capitalize on that.
Yep. Seeing a lot of back and forth trades here. Do you think he's going to play the Frost Hex out? I guess he is, right?
100%. Yep. You just go ahead and slap that out, and
Okay. Yep.
or mm,
Or okay, maybe just have it for later. Sure.
well, if that was the play, then I don't know why he didn't block with the polar blast as well, because I think he took a couple points of damage.
Yes, I believe so.
So I don't fully understand that one, but we'll see.
Sure. Yellow Aether Ice Vein. I guess this is one of the few matchups where this is a good end. Because I mean, generally you don't want to play your yellows, but
Hmm.
I think in this case you can get a lot of value from the discard trigger here. So, I mean, Peter has failed to get any board state at all.
Hmm.
So I'm kind of like, I'm wondering, has he just not found the right position for them? Did he sideboard them out? What?
Well,
Uh,
I think what he pitched just answered your question.
yeah. Okay.
He pitched out Amulet of Ice, so he's
Right.
obviously, because to be
Mhm.
honest, I think we saw it in the, was it the quarterfinals, where the Iyslander player,
Mhm.
Arsenal the sink below. I think Michael Hamilton didn't actually set up Insidious Chills. I think he only needed ice amulets,
Mhm.
because you only need one go, right, for the combo. You
Yep.
don't really, the Insidious Chill is ways to chip in tempo, is how
Mhm.
you look at that. But for the actual combo, an Amulet of Ice suffices. That's
Right.
really all you need.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, basically here I really like the spot that Alex is in. All he has to do is play the Frost Hex, play the Amulet on his turn, and then he's basically sitting pretty good. Nothing else is really that good.
Mhm.
So he could,
Can't he
um,
scar into amulet or amulet into scar? That's either one. Or is
yeah,
that risky because it's not risky. He doesn't have an arsenal.
yeah, he doesn't have an arsenal,
Mhm.
so you could definitely. I'd probably just block with Ice Bolt here, pitch Brothers, play Frost Hex, and then
Mhm.
on the next turn I would play Scar for Scar, and then Arsenal the Amulet.
Mhm. Sure. Seems reasonable.
Because if you block with Scar, you're just giving up 2 value instead of.
You can also get a value here if from the Constellius, but looks like he's opting not to. Hmm.
It might actually just be playing it on his turn, which is
Yeah.
possible.
Scar into amulet
Oh, I
seems.
like that too. Yeah, he's gonna
Yeah.
Scar an Amulet. Yep, that's fair. And then what he can actually do, depending on if he gets any blocks, he can go ahead and Constellius because he played the Amulet,
Mhm.
and kind of like say, okay, if you're gonna keep doing this, you're gonna take some damage.
Mhm.
But that's totally up to Alex. Okay.
All right. So
So
here we're
he
probably going
has
to
the
see.
setup. Once he
Mhm.
plays this Frost Hex, he's pretty much good on the combo. He just needs
Yep.
the Ice Vein. He needs to Arsenal the Fighting Spirit. He needs to Ice Vein on his turn and then follow with the Ice Eternal.
Yep.
So we're about 3 turns away from the combo, give or take.
So do you think we're going to see Frost Hex be played here? Pitch a card, Wounded Bull, Arsenal, the attack, or do you
Yeah.
think the life totals are getting too low for that to just
Um.
take 7 here?
Yeah. My knee-jerk reaction is to block with Fighting Spirit, and then you could Wounded Bull here, and then the problem
You
is there's no
wouldn't have an
scenario,
arsenal.
right? Yeah, there's no
Mm.
scenario where you both play the Frost Hex and Arsenal the Ice Eternal, which
Mhm.
is fine because it may just be too early for the Ice Eternal. That's also a possibility.
Yep.
But I like this block. I mean, it's the best block you can do while keeping the Ice Eternal in your deck, which
Yep.
is why I chose to um, block with the, yeah. So just walking the life totals down, no problem with that. Just got to be careful because you are not going to be able to prevent any damage when you take. So he's kind of gotten away with this twice, where he's been empty-handed, and the other Iyslander player only had a Cold Snap or a Polar Blast in Arsenal, which is not like a damage-dealing spell. But if
Right.
there's like an Emeritus down there or something, like that can hurt. That's 7 damage.
Yep. So I mean, essentially, let's say Peter takes this and goes to 16. So Alex has gotten 4 items out for 3 lives.
Mm-hmm.
Seems pretty good.
Yep.
The only issue I'm seeing right now is that he may not have enough time to play the Frost Hex and then get another Ice Eternal into the arsenal without getting to a dangerously low life total.
Well, unfortunately, he has to play that Frost Hex. The combo
Yes.
is not going to be. You're just not going to be able to do it without playing something. I mean, there is a way to do it, but it's way less efficient, and you can't pitch as much into the Ice Eternal if you're not playing it from Arsenal.
Yep.
Really, it just seems like Peter's in a rough spot. He's kind of like screwed no matter what he does here, because if he oh yeah, this is really good for Alex because now he gets free tempo. He could slap that Channel Lake down or the E-Pot, whichever. I probably would say play E-Pot Arsenal Channel.
Yep, that's what I would lean to as well.
And then you literally have everything. You're just waiting on an Ice Vein, and then follow up with Ice Eternal.
Yep. That's still a two-step process, right? Like you gotta Arsenal one of them, and then you have to Arsenal the Ice Eternal actually, right?
Yeah, the workaround is you just find the Ice Eternal because you have such a board set up, and you just Arsenal it, and then you no longer play offensively. You just block with everything, which is pretty easy to do. And then when you find the Ice Vein, you take a little bit of damage, present the Ice Vein, and then you're set up, ready to go.
Did he have to use his Constellius for this?
No.
I think he could have used Cold Snap to pitch for that. Play E-Pot Arsenal Channel Lake. It does leave him a little shields down, but not completely shields down because looks like he's going with a different plan here.
Look, yeah, maybe he's thinking about playing the channel, which I mean,
I don't think that's.
Actually,
I think playing the E-Pot might be a little bit better.
Here's the thing: you could actually play the channel, hold the E-Pot if he wants to do anything funny, then Arsenal the E-Pot, and then play the E-Pot on your opponent's turn.
He Arsenal Cold Snap there, so he's never going to play that CLF.
Correct.
Huh. It seems like CLF would be like a trump card in a Stormstrider's dance battle, right?
It's never good the turn you play it because everything just gets responded to. It actually doesn't have any value until the turn after.
Right.
And even then, Iyslander operates on so many blues that all it basically does is say you have to pitch an extra blue next turn. Which, if Channel Lake Frigid costs you 2 cards, so that could be a bad deal. So here we're probably going to see the Cold Snap played because it's just a free card, so he gets a free look.
Yep.
That's a good card.
That is a very good card. So do you think he's going to AB for this, or
so what I think is going to happen?
AB5? Metacarpus Node has AB, right? So he has actually AB5 at the moment.
Yeah, he has to shut this down, so he'll just pitch the heart.
Yep, gain a life.
And go and stop all this, and then with that'll end the opponent's turn. He'll throw Fighting Spirit, Arsenal the Ice Vein.
Yep.
And call it a day.
Is he going to actually give up a blue here?
You could give up E-Pot here. Like, you're so far ahead that you probably don't need it. Depend on the situation. If you're worried about it, I don't think he's in any like worrisome situation, so probably just take it. I just like the idea of like getting Constellius to 2 counters.
Yep.
That's the only reason I'd advocate for using the E-Pot is because you kind of get 4 resources in that situation.
If the Ice Vein is going to go to the Arsenal here, if we see a Ice Eternal drawn next turn, There's potential for shenanigans. There's the
That's
Ice
the
Eternal.
combo. That's everything he needs.
Yep.
So he just, yep, he'll probably take the 7 and then Ice Vein.
Before the end step, yep. And even if this doesn't kill him, you'll rip a lot of cards. Scar for Scar might actually even.
Well, the beauty of the
something.
beauty of the Ice Vein that's in Arsenal is you get him off in Arsenal, which is pretty good.
Yeah, because the Insidious trigger will go first before he has a chance to AB it.
Yep, and it's guaranteed damage, and you can also Waning Moon after that with the E-Pot.
So this is the portion of the game where Peter goes, "Uh-oh, I'm in danger." When the opponent takes a little bit of time when they're tapping the desk, they're like, Okay, here we go. Pitching the E-Pot, yep. Declining the Metacarpus node. It's going to come in for 3 damage here. So completely shields down here.
Yeah, he has the option to either Waning Moon or block with that Frosting, but I think the Scar for Scar unfortunately just has to be played out.
Yep.
It doesn't make much sense to do it any other way.
Yeah, he didn't have enough resources there to... Like, if that Scar was a different card, he probably could have just gone for the kill there.
Right.
A little bit of a dangerous position here. Potential to actually, never mind. There's no Arsenal. Never mind.
Yeah, because Ice Eternal's going in the Arsenal, all he needs to do is draw an Ice Vein. Just like that. So now all he does is he pops Storm Striders with the E-Pot.
Yep.
And he gets Aether Ice Vein, trigger 3 Ice Amulet effects, and that'll get the entire hand no matter what before damage takes place.
Yep.
And then the next turn, Ice Eternal.
Yep. This is one of those you see the writing on the wall a little. Alex has done well to maneuver himself into this position where he has 6 items on board.
Yep, so Alex will just let this happen. Go to his turn. Like I said, he can even this is such a good hand. He can even play the amulet to guarantee get all 4 cards. Well, actually, no, that's not necessary because the Iyslander can always respond, so you're never getting the 4th card. So all you need is 3. So he should actually hold that back in case Iyslander tries anything funny.
Yep. You still there? The inactivity thing showed up there. All right. I guess he's just trying to plan out his next 2 turns. This is like a matchup where you got to think of several turns ahead.
Yep. Just let it happen in turn.
Yep.
You can do it. Hit the button. You got it.
It's very tempting to do something here, but you know, you're just letting him AB for free, so yeah.
Come on. Hit that end button. Hit it.
Press that space bar.
Yeah. That's all you gotta do. Come on.
I mean, this is the most important part of the game, so him taking an extra minute or 2 to think about it is okay, I guess. Second inactivity warning.
Non-existent judge. I'm gonna need you to tell Alex to take a game action.
There we go. He heard you. There you go. All right. We have an action point, and we have the best thing to spend our action point on.
Yeah, this will get the entire hand.
Yep. Does it really matter what you pitch here with?
It does not.
Yeah.
Insidious Chill's clearly the worst card, but it doesn't matter.
Yep. Okay, so the Insidious Chill trigger goes on the stack there.
And he needs to go ahead and pop all the amulets.
That's what he should have done there, yep. I mean, he could do it now. There's still a response right now. Yeah, he needs to do it right now. Yep. Uh-oh. That is not correct right there.
Yeah, because you're just going to let him A-B the damage.
Is there any reason to let him... Yeah.
No, you pop the amulet there. There's no reason not to.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. This is why I enjoy seeing the hand perspective.
Yeah, I think he could have killed him there.
No, you kill him right here, but like, it's just the fact that,
it was not the correct sequence of.
Oh yeah, now you just got Amulet of Isis just sitting there doing nothing when they could have dealt 5 damage last turn. He's still gonna win, but like, it could have been better.
Yep, I agree.
Because what you're actually worried about here is Constellus. I think it discounts your weapon attack by 3, and if he has the E-Pot, well, okay, he can't activate the E-Pot because he'll have the Frostbites. But there is a situation where, like, if he has 1 card in hand or something, the Constellus discounting by 3 and Waning Moon only costing 2 is relevant because
looks like he's going for it here. So Peter attempted to play E-Pot in response. Alex activated his own E-Pot, played Ice Eternal, pitching.
And he picked the wrong number, of course.
He should pick 8, I believe, right?
Yep, it's 8.
Yep, because you don't have Tunic here, so you can't get it to 10.
Right, and I actually don't even think you needed the E-Pot if the math is right.
Looks like he's going for 10 here. Fusing. Okay, I guess he wanted to go for 10 here.
Oh, it was he didn't let the E-Pot resolve.
Yeah. Yep, he hasn't let the E-Pot resolve.
And then Metacarpus it, yep.
Yep. And then you can Waning Moon.
Yep.
And then 5 Frost Hex or 5 damage from each Frost Hex should kill him here.
Yep.
And he can't activate the E-Pot because he has no cards in hand. So that'll do it. All right, there we go. All right, well played from Alex there.
Hey, I'm back in the booth. I just wanted to mention a couple things real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Yep. So, when I did not block with my extra card, I left 2 cards in hand, did not block with an extra card on the Fyendal's Fighting Spirit. You need to have a card in your hand to protect the other card, because an Aether Ice Vein could rip the Frost Hex out of your hand, and that can just lose you the game. So you cannot block with the 3rd card. You have to keep one when you're wanting to protect a really important card. Which after you get the E-Pot on the board, you can be a little bit more lax with that because the E-Pot can pay for the chill triggers and the Ice Vein triggers, things like that.
So you're talking about blue Aether Ice Vein from your opponent.
My opponent attacked me. Yes, blue Aether Ice Vein. Yes. It can just strip that last card out of your hand that you were trying to arsenal, and that can put you so far behind. You pretty much have to have 2 Frost Hexes to win the game, and that was my Frost Hex that I was trying to put in arsenal. So you have to protect it and just take the 2 extra damage.
Sure.
Right. What about the amulets at the end?
The amulets at the end, it didn't matter, so I knew I had the win, but that one probably, like, I probably could have just gone ahead and activated them. Like that's fine before the thing resolves. Sure. pushing too much more damage. But yeah, it's definitely correct to activate them. I just
That's
got
a lot more damage.
complacent. Yeah, I got complacent because I knew the game was pretty much already won.
So it seems like your opponent did not play out any permanents to the battlefield. So
Right.
um,
They had a different game plan. I think being on the draw,
Mhm.
like I was able to start with a Fox 6 on the board. They were
Right.
on the draw, and so they just started swinging. And they also kept getting really good hands. Like if you guys noticed, for the first 2/3 of that game, I was really behind actually. Like I was building a board state, right? But my life total was way behind because he was drawing one big attack every turn. And
Right.
leaving me in situations where if I'm going to attack, I leave myself open to taking a bunch of damage at the end or on my turn because he's
Yep.
got a 5-card hand, with the arsenal to swing back, and I have no hand. So
Right.
it left me in those kinds of situations, and he kept taking advantage of that. And it actually got down to the end where if I wasn't able to resolve that second Frost Hex, I could have been in a little bit of trouble at some point in that game there towards the
Yep.
end. But
For sure.
I was able to find my Ice Eternals and stuff. But also another
Mhm.
thing on the Constellus, I noticed Nathan said something about the Constellus being trying to get it to it's a once per turn. So even if you prevent 2 things with it in the same turn, it will only give you 1 counter.
Right.
Yeah.
And I activated the Constellus on one of my other turns. When you were like, oh, maybe he should just pitch the other card. That was another like protection thing. When
Sure.
when you scar for a scar or whatever, you need to have some sort of protection at all times for like your good cards. So like
Mhm.
I wanted to play. I think it might have been on like a scar amulet turn. I can't remember,
Mhm.
but yeah, basically, and also Channel Lake Frigid is just it's good in this matchup, but in very
it's
few
just-
situations.
Yeah, it's not
Because
the
when you
best.
don't have Coronet Peak, it is so hard to do anything good with Channel Lake Frigid.
Yep.
Sure.
But yeah, it was
Makes
a good game. The main misplay that I really had during the game was the amulets at the end.
All right. Well, nonetheless, still a very entertaining match, actually. Very back and forth, illustrating. I think if I don't think Wizard versus Wizard is like going to be the top of most people's lists, but
Yeah.
like if you want to learn like what that matchup is like,
It's actually
think
very entertaining to
yeah,
watch from the
yeah.
outside. To actually play
Yeah.
the match, it's
Mhm.
actually like watching paint dry. But like the one turn where I took forever right before the
Mhm.
kill turn, you probably made some sort of comment about how I took too long to like pass
Yeah.
turn because
I
okay,
called
so
a judge. and I wasn't even in the game.
I was checking to see if I could kill him.
Right.
And it took me a minute to get to the realization that I could not. And so obviously the correct decision if you can't kill him is just pass Aether Ice Fiend, set up the kill for next turn. But I was just checking to see if I could kill him there.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
All right. Yep. All right. Anyways, that's the first game of week 3. We're already 2-0 in the we're already guaranteed first seed. So this week is a little bit of a except for Nam, who needs to step it up, I guess. The rest of us, are gonna have their fun this week. All right. I guess we'll just wrap it up here. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with more FAB Cup games. Like and subscribe and all that. We'll see you guys later.